Alright, here we are. Hey guys, welcome back. Episode 15, because I've gotten rid of the chapter thing because I thought it was kind of stupid and maybe a little bit confusing, so this is episode 15 of the whole campaign. And, yes, with that being said, who wants to recap for the 15th episode of the campaign?
I got this, all right.
Go for it.
Sounds good. All right. So, we slept for the night in the aftermath of an encounter with aggressive boers when we were chasing after a hag. Sforus had a nightmare that disrupted his sleep, and in the morning we picked up the trail of the hags again. It led through an area rich with strange vegetation to a lake with a pair of islands. And we found a small rowboat that fit 3 people. Cal and Resk swam alongside the boat, while the others rowed in it. And on a small island, we saw some bones and vines and a strange little pool that showed us glimpses of our pure selves and our histories. And most of the team were wary about this, but Rask looked deep inside himself and remembered his birth parents and the accident that claimed them and awoke his dormant powers. And as he was moved to tears, and his tears fell into the water, one of the 3 hags emerged, cackling about how Rask's sorrow gave her sustenance. She admitted that the hags were using us all as black sheep for the town Krudark, to blame their upcoming problems on, and she hinted that Sforus also had a history as an outcast, and thus didn't need to be a target. She summoned a trio of living plant creatures to try to destroy us, but we defeated them all. A storm had started during the fight, apparently caused by one of the hag's sisters, and we felt we probably needed to take care of that. So we returned to Krudark, having felt the effect of the curse of the outcast on us fade away. Milk, the shopkeeper and Kobold shopkeeper, mentioned that he's heading to a town to the south. We went to the tavern, confirmed we were no longer hated by people there, and in addition to learning more about the lay of the land, we confirmed the location of a lighthouse by the coast to the north, where we believe the storm hag may have fled since she needed to go to higher ground. So we now have something resembling a plan.
Something as such. And remind me, I think you guys had just finished off last time getting some rooms at the inn, if I'm remembering correctly.
We definitely talked about it.
Right.
We talked about being okay with just sharing a room, I think.
Yeah, I think that was it. Somebody gave him over a silver piece. Silver pieces at this point are not that important, so nobody needs to worry about who's doing that. But for the purpose of it, as the rain patters down on the thatched roofs here, that seem to surprisingly hold out the rain quite well, some sort of mud and twine and other things that really hold it all together. But ingenious roofing aside, you guys do have a chance to finally get to a dry, safe room. For the first time on the surface world, in fact. You've been camping, roughing it out the whole time, but now you have a modicum of comfort. That'll certainly be helpful, as some of you have been exhausted and fatigued and overall needing of a good rest finally in a bed of some sort. So you all bundle into the room.
Oh, I forgot what it was like to be dry.
These are the nicest sleeping arrangements we've had in a long time.
I'm surprised all of you are so very willing to share a room with me.
Why wouldn't we?
I mean, should I list off the reasons? No, he has a point.
I mean, he can sleep in the hall if he wants.
What's he gonna do? There's 4 of us and 1 of him.
A fair point.
So what are you gonna do without coughing for him?
But he can stay under a bed.
I don't sleep in a coffin, nor under anyone's bed.
Well, with that, I assume you guys go to rest.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
How many beds are there?
There's like 2, maybe a pull out. You know, they can shove an extra one in. There's like a chair.
I mean, Starbuck, maybe we should shove you under a bed anyways. There's not much room in here.
If there's 2 beds, that could easily handle the 4 of us.
It works out very well if we just go under the bed, Storm.
I will not go under the bed. I will just have one of you sleep on the floor. I mean, it can't be that much more comfy than your cave beds.
No, I'm not doing that.
Forrest practically already found himself a corner on the floor to curl up in.
You sure you want to do that, Spores? It's gonna be like really bad for your back. You should sleep in a bed.
Forrest is nearly out, pretty much. He's exhausted.
Mechanically.
Mechanically speaking.
I'm no mechanic, but he does sure look exhausted.
Well, with that being said, though, you guys do get your rest for the night. Curling up here and there, sleeping wherever you need to sleep, you get the night on through. And as you awaken the next day, the rain hasn't stopped. It was pattering all through the night, and in fact, some of your sleep was disturbed by the distant sound of rolling thunder. The first time most of you have heard of something like that, something rattling the roof and sort of thumping through your chest at some points in the night, and then flashes of light outside the window here and there.
What's going on with the up there?
Yeah, that's not normal, is it? Oh,
Ah!
hope it's
I
not.
thought you guys were used to it. And Forrest casts Electric Arc to demonstrate.
Well, that makes sense. That's magic. You're doing that, but like, are there like demons up there? Demons? No,
Electric
There
Arc
demons.
must be a
does,
magic user.
Require 2 targets.
Maybe there's at least 3 demons up there casting it on each other.
If it's a hag, then there's your magic user.
Yeah, but
No.
that seems like such a big waste of your magic to do that.
No, I can understand it. It's pretty fun. Like,
Well,
look,
if they're fighting, it makes sense. They're clearly not getting anywhere, though. Keeps...
Wait a minute. If we're hearing it from all the way over here, how big must they be?
Oh, that's a good point. That's terrifying.
They're not big, but like they're standing on a large structure. It's like shouting down from a cliff. It's very easy to hear it as well, right?
Maybe.
It has a way of certainly drowning out much other audio. You don't really hear the pattering of people walking through the street or anything like that. Maybe somebody rushing past your window to dive for cover from the rain, but even outside, it looks a little bit more dark, as those darkened clouds have basically approached the outskirts of the city, threatening to deluge it in a rain of, well, rain.
It's definitely a lot harder to enjoy the Skywater with all the electric arcs.
I
That
think
makes sense.
it's an important part of it. You know, it's not Skywater without the Electric Arcs.
Well, I don't
You don't
want to
let
be
water
hit.
get up there.
I don't want to be hit by an electric arc.
I think I understand the Skywater. I don't get the electric arcs though, but
There's no way that much water could get up doesn't make sense. What?
Well,
Because it-
think about how, sometimes when the cave mists up a bit,
I mean, kind of, yeah.
I
That's
think it's like
fog.
that.
But fog like stays on the ground.
I mean, didn't you look up? There's fog up there.
It was like smoke.
No, it's fog.
Looked like smoke.
So maybe when it gets too heavy, then it falls.
You're saying it might not be water? Oh, that's
It's definitely water. I'm saying that foggy mist is water.
this is weird.
We can contemplate this some other time, I'm sure.
Why not? Why not now?
Well, if this other hag thing is causing this from her high place, then we need to stop her, right?
We probably should, because I shudder to imagine what the consequences might be if this rain doesn't let up anytime soon.
Well, the people in the town will get electric arced, won't they?
But there's also the matter of a lot of water being added to the swamp. There might be flooding, in other words.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Oh, that's bad. Where's all this water even going?
To
Yeah.
the swamp.
Oh yeah.
It
That's not...
Follows the current, but if the current leads it through any kind of populated areas, then it could destroy huts if it gets too high.
There's a sudden rush of more rain hitting the roof. Sort of a downpour suddenly arriving at this point. As it gets darker and darker outside your window.
I'll just try to sleep, and we can go after the hag in the morning.
As you guys all roll back to sleep, the rain pattering on the roof. It's nice to some of you, others maybe find it new and frightening. But eventually you make it through the night. Morning, you think, arrives, though it is dark enough outside that you could be mistaken. Nevertheless, you're all well rested, you recuperate, you get yourselves ready for the morning, and you certainly realize that this rain is not going to stop unless you do something about it. So
Rest
what do you
takes
do?
out his earplugs, which he was clearly wearing in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Ugh.
good day, everybody.
Is it day?
What do you mean?
Good morning.
Oh, I can't wait to get out of this dreary swamp.
It's the next day because we slept.
It means this is morning, because we woke up.
Alright, okay. Why is this hag?
Might be at the lighthouse. We got some directions to the tavern, but we should go back to the tavern. I, I think, I think we can eat there.
Oh yeah, I could do with a drink.
That's a nice idea.
It's food that we really need. If you're gonna do alcohol, try to maybe do it lighter or watered down. Maybe I don't think you should be drinking too heavily.
Oh, okay.
And if you just want fresh water, I can always just fill up your cups.
Where's your water come from again?
Uh, well, the dragon made it sound like it came from another plane. So maybe a water plane.
So we don't know where that water's been. Really?
Well, it's
Yeah,
drinkable.
look,
I think it's cleaner than anything you'll find running through the ground.
You think it might be something gross, like something's drool?
Nope.
Does your water come in red as well?
Nope.
Well, that's a downright shame.
Oh right, I forgot we do have someone who can handle bodily fluids.
Uh, uh, uh,
what?
w-
I'm going to ignore what you just said.
The roof springs a leak. The room is pattered with a little bit of water. These roofs are nice, but this much water seems to be giving it some trouble. Making the room a little bit more uncomfortable for you all.
Oh, I'll stand under the leak and kind of like look up at it and let it drip on my face and close my eyes. It feels really nice.
You okay?
You'll get
Yeah.
more of that outside.
Well, let's go. What are we waiting for?
Breakfast, preferably.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We even have time for breakfast.
Why wouldn't we have time for breakfast?
Yeah, like, what's the rush? She's gonna die one way or another.
We can't fight on empty bellies.
I'm with Frask here.
I mean, I do sort of fight better on an empty stomach, but I wouldn't really want to.
Do you
Right.
even need regular
That's a
food?
problem.
Well, he's only half, so maybe he needs half food.
I can eat a normal meal just fine.
But do you
Okay.
need to?
Yes.
Well, maybe they'll have like fish, and we can have fish for breakfast or something, and maybe let's go. Let's go. I'm ready.
Oh yeah,
I
let's
want
let's
to
just
eat.
go.
Okay. You all head out from the room, preparing yourselves for the day, and downstairs into the inn proper, the tavern sort of portion of the inn, as we'll say. And you find that it's a little bit of a frantic affair here. A lot of the chairs are up, like, sort of upside down on the tables, and things are being packed up, and cupboards slammed here and there. The barkeep, the owner that you had been talking to a lot, is sort of rushing around. Oh, finally, you got up. I thought you were going to stay up there all day. We're having a storm. It's going to be a terrible one.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're gonna
yeah, we're gonna see what we can do about whatever's doing that.
Yeah.
It's not normal. Not at all.
You're going to change the weather? Well, good luck with that.
Haha, did we?
Well, it should be as simple as taking out the hag.
I don't know anything about any hacks or anything like that, but if you think you can do something, by all means be my guest. But,
Aren't we
yeah.
already your guests?
Yes, you are, and guests get food in the morning if you're going to deal with this. Here's biscuits and some dried fish. That'll have to do
Oh,
for now, and
Oh,
That's perfect. Thank you so much.
I've gotta make sure the roof doesn't collapse on us.
oh, you.
March, get over here and help.
It's already.
Yes, there's a
Sort
big
of
leak
rushes.
in our room.
Gods. Rushes up the stairs with a bucket in hand, leaving you all with a couple plates of just quickly thrown together biscuits and dried fish and all of that.
I can't believe they give us dried fish.
It looks like
Anything wrong with it?
Fresh
Yeah,
fish
it
is
feels
better.
like we're robbing them.
I know. And they just give it out?
I mean, we did pay for a room.
Oh, it's true. So it comes with the room. But I can't believe it. Dried fish coming with the room. This is amazing. These people are wealthy.
Or maybe it's our payment for stopping this weather before it wipes out the town.
We're going to do this. I resolve to give it everything I've got.
Starbrick sort of pokes his food with a fork. This looks like a pauper's meal rather than something I should be eating.
What are you talking about? This is delicious.
Are you too good for the fish, Stormbird?
I'm too good for anything this place could serve me.
Okay, I'll take yours then.
Tarmric, this flavor is so strong.
Salty.
It's so good. It's like an explosion in your mouth.
Oh, you might want to get that checked out. That doesn't sound very healthy.
No. Flavor explosion.
Oh, that kind. Okay.
No good.
If you like it so much, then please feel free to take my food as well. I could probably pick up something on the road.
As you're eating, met with the sounds of people rushing by, slapping through puddles of water, and people shouting, "Show that up here! Like, you, get down!" and all of this sort of like different things, people shouting over each other. Seems a frantic affair as you guys are having a nice breakfast in your morning.
We're just calmly eating here.
I wouldn't say
And
calmly.
they're so busy in the morning.
You have a big fight ahead of us. I mean, I like to think that we're not necessarily just calmly sitting here, but kind of trying to eat somewhat fast. Maybe
I mean, not calmly, but like we're at least enjoying our breakfast.
Eventually, though, you do finish it up for a couple of minutes here, and find yourselves ready to head out. Whenever you are.
Well, you best hurry. Hopefully your guys' equipment is waterproof.
I would stick around and help more, but
Kind of.
I have to destroy the problem at its root.
Don't worry. My wool coat and slippers are as waterproof as they come.
I mean, isn't waterproofing not even an issue? If need be, we can just have Vrask, I don't know, control the water away from us, can't he?
To a degree.
Pretty
It's
sure.
hard to control a large amount of water at a time, but I'm working on it. I'm practicing every day.
Alright. You guys head out of the tavern here?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
As you head out
Keep going.
into the rain, into the thunder, the sky is lit up every so often, and, well, the thunder seems to follow the lightning about 5 seconds after. You see little streaks of lightning in the distance over some of the, well, rooftops of that town, since you're on the south side and this storm seems to be coming from the north. And as people rush past, where are you guys going?
We march north, unless anybody has any stops they need to make.
I don't think anybody does, it seems.
No, yeah, I'm ready.
Sorry, Cal?
I said not me.
Oh, okay. I thought you said let me. But yes. As you guys are heading through the city streets, pushing past some people, there's carts and horses sort of pushing past you. This is the first time some of you have seen horses, actually. But besides the point, you saw them yesterday. You would have commented on them.
I've slept.
You do... It's like having a dragon in the party all over again. There's like always like, oh, wait. What's that? That's new. That's different. Oh, a dragon in the party. Anyway.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the horses are kind of intimidating.
As you guys move past all that, you're going along the river here. It's probably the most easy way to get through the town. It's sort of situated sort of in a circular shape on the shoreline here. And as you do head along the shore here, you're met with the strong scent of the fish market. You've been past this once or twice. But today, it's a frantic affair as people are packing up things, trying to haul in the last of the day's catch. Seemingly, it's too dangerous to be out in the water at this point. And you see Rissel Broomhair, that gnome, with the sort of bright-ish brown hair, like brighter than any other human's brown hair, that's for certain. And you see him sort of shouting at one of the fishmongers, "You can fit out one more order? Come on now. I gotta pack this all up. I'm gonna lose the rest of it if I, deal with you. I know how particular you are about counting every fish out of the box. And how particular you are counting every coin out of my hand."
Oh, fun. You guys think we're gonna be able to get to that hag from here?
By walking?
I mean, yeah, but
We need to climb, I'm assuming.
climb a bit, but yeah, it sounds like a bad idea to go in the water at all.
Why?
Well, look at it. Look at how angry it looks.
As you guys look out to the water, roll a perception check. Cal, you've been more focused than anybody else this morning. And as Chester and Rask just argue over how to get up the tower or through the water or how angry it is, you realize it can't just be the wind and the rain making the water so tumultuous out there. You realize there's a patch of it that's rumbling and boiling as if something large is looming underneath it at this very moment.
It's just the water that's like near the docks of
Yes.
the town. Guys, there might be a little something more to this. And then nudge Rask and point to the patch of water.
Okay, what the heck is that? Is that another one of like the one that we killed?
That's another shark.
Something big, whatever it is, in the water.
Side you, the gnome is still arguing with the fishmonger as people push by with crates. "Alright, come on. Get out of the way. You're dilly-dallying here."
There's something in the water. Dresser just kind of says out.
Roll a diplomacy check.
This is a bad idea.
Well, with your diplomat's badge newly in hand or newly on your chest, you sort of shout this out loudly, more loudly than you are used to mustering. As people sort of look up. "Yeah, it's right. What the hell is that?" Rissel Broomhair just sort of tries to look over. He's a little short to be able to see all the way out in the water. "Come, I don't need any more distraction." As everyone's looking out there, you all see the boiled part of the water sort of boiling, as it's not actually boiling, but sort of begin to bubble up and rise into the form of a head, some lizard-like thing. Its head is the size of all you, less like a lizard, more like a snake. And then another, and another, and another, and another, as 5 of these heads sprout out of the water, all hissing with these sort of fins on the side and piercing, predatory eyes. I'm gonna move us over to a new scene. Crystal is here.
Guys?
Chester Starnberg.
Is normal out here?
Ask. You all realize that Nraski would not have had your kinetic aura up at this point.
Nope.
That creature doesn't spell good news for the people of this town, as people sort of stumble back, having a little bit of warning. They are able to get 2 spaces up, Bristle and the rest also stepping back. Well, you were in my shop the other day, and you made quite the fuss of it. How about you deal with that thing before it kills us all? I need you guys' initiatives, as it hisses out violently.
All right, we got this.
Darn, we're still hated.
Oh, the gnome still hates you. Everyone else doesn't seem to have followed through on that.
I'm not the one to take orders from a peddler who chased us out of his own store.
Doesn't it give him more of a right to chase people out if it's his own store?
Stomach just doesn't respond and is very much just feeling insulted by the orders he received.
Well, if you don't want to fight, then you can go.
I owe you that much. I'll stick around.
As
Good.
the beast is rising up, it threatens to rush the dock and attack these dockhands that were just trying to get home for the day after the rain. But now, well, they're caught in the crossfire. Spores, speaking of crossfire, what do you do to start things off?
Would recall knowledge be nature for this
Yes,
thing?
it would. Or Arcana.
Gotcha. Source would like to see if he can dig up any knowledge of this wildlife.
You are certain you've heard stories of a beast like this. Native, of course, to waterways and other, well, freshwater bodies of water. This is a hydra, a multi-headed beast of myth and legend. Most of the time, you've never even realized that they would be real. What do you want to know specifically about it?
Any special abilities?
It has a special ability. Its heads regrow. There's 5 heads on it, but there could be more, you realize. There are stories about how if you just chop off a head, another will rise in its place. But the more heads this creature has, the more dangerous it is. So you have to be quite careful with dealing with it.
Wonderful.
The myths tell that acid or fire could be used to cauterize a stump before it regrows, but the stump must be generally slashed off, but you can just sort of bludgeon it down and tear it off as well. Just can't hit the heads with AoE damage, you'd just be hitting the body.
Gotcha. Store already know this, but
Yeah.
making sure that it's actually in character for us to know this.
You fought one in
Hi.
Kingmaker, and you probably fought one in Abomination Vaults.
I was really afraid it was going to be that dinosaur you threw at us in Kingmaker.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Anyways, Force. 2 actions left.
Well, it would be nice to be able to keep the dock workers out of danger somehow. Four isn't exactly built to do that, so instead he's just going to try to draw its ire with a Tempest Surge.
Okay.
How are you gonna keep track of the heads?
So, for the purpose of it,
say-
are you attacking a head or not? You have to always declare if you are attacking a head.
Yes, I'll attack a head.
Okay. So, as you call the storms rage down on them, maybe a little bit fueled by this rain, it will make its reflex save. The heads coil around each other. It might be a little bit of a difficult ask. In fact, it just barely succeeds. As you strike into one of the heads, it takes a little bit of damage as it sort of slides off the side of it. It avoids the worst of that electricity. So one of the heads has taken 3 damage, and I will say, and I think I'm supposed to do it this way, heads have a separate HP pool from the body itself. Actually, no, I think I'm wrong about that because there's 5 heads, and yes. I'm going to say it doesn't have a separate HP pool because it regenerates anyway. But it takes 3 damage, one of the heads taking that 3. Alright. Now, the Hydra itself. It does seem on its turn to immediately regrow any scales it lost in that Tempest Surge. Though you may have gotten its attention, it is going to rush up here, sort of breaking through some of the fish-holding pier here. And as it gets right here, its heads all snapping in all directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of these dockhands is going to be very lucky, the others not so much, as a storm of jaws strikes out for every target in reach that they can get to. First head, this dockworker on the side here, rolls a 2, doesn't crit. Maybe this dockworker's lucky day if they don't roll too well here. This dockworker actually is holding on. You know, they make some tough stock. As dockworkers, of course. However, Swords, you're not so lucky. Critical strike against you, as you are bitten by it. Deals 28 damage, snapping into you rapidly. Rask strikes into you. You, however, are a little bit luckier. You're able to avoid the worst of it. You only take about 16 points of damage. Starnberg. You easily got into your rage pretty quickly. That might be useful to you, as it rolls a natural 20. On this attack, you take 30 points of damage. The other two dockhands, this one here, actually, this last dockhand, will be critically struck by it as well, as the last hungry, vicious Hydra head knocks him straight to the floor, hold. He is not dead, but dying. But for NPCs, they only have 1 round before they actually die. So if you want to heal them, you have to do it on your turn. That'll be its turn, the Hydra's.
Alright, well, Cal doesn't want to be here.
Okay.
I'm gonna stride away.
As you rush up to Risol as he's sort of backing up with the other fishmongers.
All of you need to get out of here now.
What does it look like we're doing?
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna spin around and focus my attention back. So you said fire on these things, yeah?
Or acid.
I hope I don't want to hear any complaining from you, Swords. As I'm going to focus, and I'm going to do an amped ignition on one of the heads.
Okay.
I'm going to focus my energy basically at the base of the neck and cause it to ignite.
Mm-hmm. If you can put enough power, enough force into this attack, it may sever it whole. Now the dice will unfortunately
I'm gonna
miss.
use a hero point.
Okay. And again,
The
it
game
does
says
end
no.
up missing. Unfortunately so. That's it. Full
That's all
ability.
3 actions.
When you need your allies to do something to help bring this thing down, give it a little bit of a harder time deflecting your attacks. So,
Authority. First thing, I'm going to use my exploit vulnerability. Mostly so I can get my amulet up and maybe learn more information. Oh, that's the wrong button.
well, that's the right button. Natural 20. You know precisely everything about its resistances, weaknesses, and immunities. Also, I can tell you 2 things otherwise about it.
Low save.
Its lowest save is going to be its will save. The heads are always sort of battering against each other. Having all these different brains is a little bit difficult on the creature.
And its highest save.
Highest save is fortitude. Big
The
burly.
will and maybe reflex is good. I have a hunch that it's going to have some kind of resistance against will saves because it has so many heads. Alrighty.
I can tell you for certain, just because it's part of that when people ask about will saves, it does not. The heads are sort of part of the same being for this creature, so it's not like a swarm, which would be immune to psychic or will saves, basically.
Alrighty. I
It's
have
one brain at the base of the body.
I
Something
have
like
a
that.
scroll of bless in my hand, but I'm not going to cast it yet since I'm not in a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
So for the rest of my turn, I'm going to move 25 feet this way and make a strike against the Hydra.
As you move up, one of the heads snaps out at you.
Ah!
Okay, that's your 20. Starting off really,
I'm using
really
my
good.
amulet.
Alright, amulet out. You're able to abate some of that damage. And as you bring up your amulet, you notice, actually, this Hydra, around one of its heads, has an amulet of its own.
Wait, hold on. I just took 28.
Yeah, just give yourself back 6. You minus yourself there.
There we go.
I don't think you did that right. Here. I'm gonna fix it.
18. I accidentally did my.
I got you.
Okay.
Minus 28. Plus 6. There we go. Let the math do it for you. Now, as we go... Oh, yeah, I think you were actually right. Never mind, I'm stupid. And I'm mean. Anyway, you do notice that one of the heads, one of the necks, has this charm around it, and you realized as soon as you did that exploit vulnerability critical success that that is a charm of resistance to fire. But it's only on one of the necks.
That's mean. Can I make my slashing strike against that head specifically?
Yes, you can.
Awesome. I'm so glad I didn't change my damage.
Mm-hmm. Might be very important here. Roll the dice. I'm not going to cut it
I'm
here.
gonna hero point that.
Okay.
Why?
It's not going to cut it either. As
Why?
you try to slice into it, its heads are just whipping around, and you've been so surprised that you just aren't able to get good footing against it. That'll be your turn. Zarnberg.
I don't want to die.
You shouldn't be enfeebled 2 right now, I don't believe.
It was like from our last encounter with the hag. I don't know. I kept it around.
The hag poison, yeah.
It was a
stuck
day.
around.
A day passed, though, so it's away.
Alrighty.
Gotcha.
Stomach looks somewhat annoyed since cutting off a head probably won't be helping much since there's no one around to cauterize. So.
Cut off the head that has that necklace.
Alright, but I'm
There's also 2 people here who have fire.
too.
I do share the information that the amulet is one of resist fire.
Oh, it's 1.
Well, I'm gonna approach and I'm gonna try and slice at the head with wearing the necklace.
Okay, you take a careful step up, keeping your guard up, knowing that another one of those heads could snap out at any moment. Let's see. 5
Okay,
on
you're
the
right,
dice.
that's-
Okay.
One of those days.
Yeah, starting out like one. 13 will get you a hit, certainly.
Finally.
Bash into that head at the sort of stalk of it, at the root of it, trying to just slam into it so hard that it will snap in 2. 9 on the dice, 15 exactly is the HP of a head. The head, with the amulet, is spattered and falls off. It currently only has 4 heads right now, the creature. Gains a little bit of bleed, and that amulet falls to the ground into the muck of the water here. It no longer gains the effects of that resistance amulet.
I have to grab that later.
Having drawn blood from his swipe, his stomach is gonna quickly get his breakfast in. He's gonna harvest blood.
Or is the 1 bleed persistent?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, but 15 is from the slashing. Thanks, sorry.
And that's all 3 of my actions.
Alright. As you hack into it there, we're going to go to Rask.
Okay. I'm assuming we need to cauterize it before its turn.
Correct. Or it has a chance, and it's not guaranteed, to regrow it.
As much as I want to say Eternal Eruption,
If you could.
wait, where's my, Oh no, did I not restock on my... Oh no. I thought the fire, I forgot that the fire alchemical bottles were the temporary kind.
Yes.
Oof. I have significantly less fire than I thought.
Man, why couldn't this Hydra have attacked last week?
Would probably killed you last week because, well, I don't know. Either way, Rask.
It's what level.
Okay.
How different should it be?
Well, I kind of feel like maybe I should save the fireball for when there's two things to cauterize. I gotta put up my aura.
Gathering
I mean-
water in the air.
Alright. I start channeling water around me. As part of this, I get one single action attack as a free action, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of put it into the form of like a throwing disc.
Sure thing.
There we go. And I aim for another head with it. Bam. I'm not going to let that one stand,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to stand anyway.
Trying to bring it back around, but no luck there.
So that was all one action, because the way my class works. Second action, I'm going to move.
Mm-hmm. As you do, another one of the heads strikes out at you. Of the remaining 4, you're just barely struck by it. Deal 17 damage to you.
As a reaction, I salt wound.
Okay. It's a hefty creature, and it's pretty powerful, but it doesn't have
Oh.
all the best luck. It will be taking persistent acid, and be sickened 1 by the pain of the salted wound. That reduces its defenses.
And Ocean's Balm on the dying human.
Okay. Time to heal them up for 9.
Oh yes.
No, run! a full turn.
Alright. Top of the round. It is all the others' turns. They're going to try to run. Though that will trigger all of the remaining reactions that the creature has. All the remaining heads snap out at any of those attempting to run.
Ugh.
This person falls to the ground right here, dying. The other person... Actually, this person down the dock is the one that actually gets struck by... actually, no, he's completely out of range for the whole of it, so this guy would actually be the one that would get hit here. As they get up in front of you, they're just snapped into,
Oh my god.
and for the purpose of it, when they go down another time, they are killed. It's not easy to keep NPCs, these, well, humans alive. They're not adventurers like you.
I didn't know they were so squishy.
I got 20 health. But that has taken all of its reactions, for as you notice that.
Their sacrifice won't be in vain.
Before Swor's turn start here, I have a question.
Yes.
Do we have any access to the party inventory whatsoever during combat?
No.
It depends on who usually carries it.
Stressor, isn't it? Usually.
Tresor, yes.
Probably.
So, if you want something, you have to go up to him. Otherwise, remember to carry things yourself. They are not useful in the party inventory.
So I think I need to ask for some DM fiat here.
Yes.
It has 1 brain, quote unquote. So how does Albatross Curse work on it exactly?
Well, you just roll. It rolls a will save and is affected as if any other creature.
It doesn't roll a will save.
Or well,
The
it'll
curse
roll.
goes. Yeah.
It'll roll it once it tries to get rid of it.
Yeah, but when the albatross is hovering around the Hydra,
Mhm.
affect all heads as well, or okay.
Yes, it'll affect
in
everything
that
on
case.
it. Yeah. Just in general,
And
things that affect a creature affect all the heads in terms of debilitating them. Like this sickening is affecting all of them. And I will say, for the purposes of Rask, the salted wound could have directly gone on that stump that was there, and the acid will burn it. Because, well, that stump is being affected by this persistent acid. It's permanently at 4 heads.
Dizzying colors would have been good then.
Oh yeah, but more
Gotcha.
importantly, which neck is gonna be affected by the failure effect?
All of them.
As the rain falls down and creates a frosty mist at their feet, Spores gathers some of it up into the form of an albatross and sends it to fly about the heads of the Hydra.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the target creature can spend an action to strike. It automatically succeeds in kills, and then it does a will save for the rest of it. Alright.
From there, Spores is going to have to step back. And knowing what Cal is planning to do now, he's going to step back at a different angle from where he is.
Wait, what am I doing?
Shooting fire at it.
I mean, not next turn. I'm not.
Alright.
Planning for the future. Spores backs up and stumbles against the hamper of fish as he pulls himself into a safer position.
Mm-hmm.
It's a first
Well,
turn.
Flop to the ground, reminding you strangely of that first fishing hut that you found, Chum. No, it wasn't Chum, it was, Whitefin, the Kobold. Or Kobold. But, having a little bit of flashbacks to another place where a sea monster attacks you on a fishing place, it seems to heal a little bit less ably now that one of the heads has been cauterized down. It's only healing for 12 this time, and with 4 heads, it's maybe a little bit less deadly. However, as this all occurs, let's see, there are 3 of you around it. It is going to shift straight through. It's impossible to stop the movement of a gargantuan creature like this. Starnberg, it just goes right over you, and into the back. Oh, and these guys would have run this way, like gotten out of the way completely. And all these guys have 3 actions, so they technically would have run. This guy's dead. So, basically the first round,
Asleep.
he is actually only dying, so if you want to try to save him, he is there.
Yeah.
But, as it gets into the midst of all of you, it is once again, with only 4 heads this time, going to make a storm of jaws against Cal, Sforz, Tresser, Starnberg.
Oh boy.
Cal, starting with you, 16 will probably be a crit. 5 and 5, total of 34.
Reducing that by 6 won't save you. Will it?
It
I'm
will.
instantly down.
It will save him if you do that, if you reduce that by 6.
I'm gonna do it then. I'm gonna use my.
You're too far away from me.
Wait, I don't have my reaction. I used it on my turn when I walked up.
Yes, because you get your reaction back at the beginning of your turn, so you wouldn't have had it anyway. Cal,
And
unfortunately,
65.
it's exactly your HP that brings you down to 0. The next head goes for Spores. Rolls a 3 on the dice. Misses because it is sickened by the salted wound.
Oh my gosh.
Tresser misses. Not just because of the sickening, because you're a little bit more sturdy than Spores. The heads are a little bit woozy, they snap around all of you. Starnberg, you do get just barely hit by it. It gets a lucky shot at your shoulder. You're only dealt 12 damage, though. That is the end of its turn.
And Cal's initiative would be changed to right before it, correct?
Yes. Which isn't all that bad, because you guys are all next to each other in initiative, so he doesn't really lose anything, unless you don't get him up.
Okay, cool. How many actions does it take to change which scroll I'm holding in my hand?
Takes one action to pull it out,
Okay,
and
so
one action to store. Oh, no, they changed this in the remaster. It's one action to pull out and stow something else in that hand.
all
Yep.
in one action.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna do that. To change out Bless for Dizzying Colors,
Okay.
and I want to cast Dizzying Colors.
All right. Remember, it is for the purposes of spells and everything AOE. It is a single creature.
Yep. So he only has to roll the save once, but the Albatross makes it so he rolls his next will save twice and takes the worst result.
He has not attacked the albatross, thus he hasn't gotten the failure effect of albatross curse.
Oh, he hasn't gotten that yet.
No.
Dude, I should save this then. Okay, so I'm
Yeah, so you can
first
rewind.
action to switch that out. Then I'm gonna use my second action to attack.
All right. Your second, and you have a +1 against it. You have a better chance of hitting now. 11 on the dice will exactly hit because of your circumstances.
Awesome. And now I don't have enough actions to cast that spell.
You're hitting one of the heads, correct?
Yes.
Because you're doing
This is-
slashing damage to one of the heads, this deals 16 total damage. And that head is severed. It's down to 3 heads right now.
Now, that doesn't trigger the weakness effect, because it's fire. Although it's fire damage for the sake of the weakness, it
No,
doesn't
no, so-
cauterize.
Its weakness to a damage, as in increasing damage, is slashing. So you're triggering slashing on it, basically.
Oh,
But you already
Okay.
have a slashing weapon, so it's kind of moot. But anyway, it has
alrighty, for
taken
my
damage.
last action, I think the best thing I could do is go for another strike.
Okay. There's another head is lopped off. You go for the next, though this one
Right.
is very wary of you.
What does it have now? 3 heads?
3 heads.
Alrighty. I have a question.
Yes.
I'm gonna assume this area here might not exactly be passable.
Difficult terrain. You could burst your way through that little fish shop.
Alrighty. It's gonna eat up a lot of my movement, but oh well. I'm not quite sure how many actions this takes.
So I will take 2 actions to get there, because 2 of those spots were difficult terrain.
Understood.
Staying here will give you flanking, doesn't it?
20, 30. Yeah, you have
Oh,
2
yeah, but,
diagonals there.
But you wanted to revive Cal.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
beats
gonna
Martin.
use-
It does attack you, though, as you're rushing past.
Of course.
Of its reactions. Though, you've dealt with worse. Only deals really 14 damage to you to start.
I'll be fine. I'm reviving Cal now.
Okay.
Let's see.
You're able to do something for Cal, get him up from the ground. Or, well, not up right now, but he is still prone. Nevertheless, there are still 2 heads threatening to strike at any other movement.
That's unfortunately all 3 of my actions.
Okay. Rask, your turn.
2 heads are threatening to strike. Can I tell which ones?
For the purposes of... yeah, actually, you can remember which one did its quick sort of snap for the turn. So, you can go for a head that hasn't done its snap yet.
I'm gonna try to target a head that hasn't done the snap yet. I'm
Mhm.
continuing to do my throwing like saw blades type move.
Alright.
Okay. Come on, big money.
13 will definitely get a hit on one.
Is the money big?
Single action impulse will deal 8 damage to that head. It's almost cut off, but not yet. It's a little bit more.
So I need to roll a 2. Okay. Then I'm just gonna keep doing single action.
All right. 13, though,
If it even hits.
with map is not going to
Okay,
cut it.
I'm doing the hero point though.
All right, second hero point. One for the recap.
Didn't matter.
Didn't matter there.
I don't think minus 10 is gonna hit it, so I'm gonna heal myself.
Okay. Ocean's Balm, gathering the water and making it a cooling breeze on yourself or something like that. Alright. Spores, your turn. Still 2 heads threatening. One of them is hurt, but not destroyed.
Spores tucks his tail around him and tries to get out of dodge again. As he rounds about the corner here. Next
Okay.
to the dock worker.
As you do stride away from it, it will strike with one of the remaining reactive heads. 16. It'll be a critical strike.
Okay, goodbye.
20 damage there.
Would a reduction of that by 6 save you?
Do
No.
you have it?
I have it. Yeah, it's active. Actually, I shouldn't ask that question. I'm gonna use it.
I think that's still exactly enough to knock me out.
Darn it.
Puts you exactly to 0, unfortunately.
Well, I used it.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be asking if that would save. That's metagame knowledge.
Sorta. But that puts Zoro's down to 0, ends their turn, and basically your turn just stays where it is. Cal, as you look up, there's one remaining head that's still very threatening looking.
Okay, well, crawling would trigger an opportunity attack.
Yes,
So
it
would
would.
standing up. So would casting a spell. Not in the best situation. Let me see. Because you can't step while you're prone.
No, you cannot.
Who knows? Maybe playing dead will work.
For some reason, I don't think that's a good use of my turn.
Hey, there's 4
a
targets.
minute.
Someone will
minute.
avoid getting hit
Yes,
if someone
Rask?
plays.
I might have provoked an attack of opportunity when I healed myself.
Let's see.
Is that a manipulate action?
Yeah.
Healing input manipulate, yes it is, so it would have attacked you. Good call. And in fact, it is sickened enough that it didn't hit you anyway. So Rask, or Cal, in a different timeline, you're screwed. But in this timeline, you're not.
Oh, hooray.
All the heads are having, or have used their reaction at this point.
The question is, guys, do I do something or just run away? Because if I stand up
You
and
do
do
both,
something,
right?
no.
There is currently a stump that is not cauterized.
I don't have fire this turn. I have gold this turn.
Its regeneration, as just for mechanics purposes, Tresser knows that it can't regenerate multiple heads at once. It can only do one at a time at the very least.
Okay, well, I guess I'm just have to do what I can do. I'm gonna get up. Oh, this is a fortitude save, though.
It's very good at fortitude.
This is difficult, guys. You know what? I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna cast Fear on it.
Okay. Not a bad spell at all, especially for a creature that is sickened and has weak will saves. It does succeed, however. But Frightened one.
Was hoping it would flee. That'd have been really nice.
Not so here.
Oh, goodness.
So that's all 3 of my actions.
As long as I survive, I could do something maybe useful.
Back to its turn. It only starts with 3 heads, so it heals for 9. But as part of its regeneration, it needs to attempt a fortitude save here to get one of the heads back, or the head back. It fails that, actually.
Oh,
The
thank
head,
goodness.
the stump that was there, still remains a stump. As it can't summon up its regenerative properties. However, as these 3 heads are here, they will all sort of snap towards Rask and unleash a focused assault on a single target here. All snapping,
sorry,
biting
what
at
was
Rask, dealing critical damage. Plus an extra 2d6 on this. So 22 plus double this, so 14 plus 22 is 36.
30.
36. 14 plus 22.
I'm just gonna manually.
You have 37 HP, yes, so you can put yourself
Yeah.
down to 1.
I'm like, I don't know how to do this with these, with,
Yeah,
with the
yeah, sorry.
controls.
Sometimes it doesn't always have the correct automation. It doesn't really have automation for focused assault. But
Hey, the only hit point that matters is the last one.
as
I'm
you're
still good.
bit and gnawed at constantly from these assaults, surprisingly, your allies see you bloodied, scarred, but still standing in the rain as it slicks down your body. It will then angrily snap at Tresser with the last head, but at map
no.
10. Almost natural 20. Went to the 8, will miss you. That will be its turn.
Okay. I got to do something. Okay, so if I were to make it do a will save, it would do the albatross thing. I don't know. Regardless, I should
Albatross, only when it attacks the Albatross, it hasn't attacked the Albatross. It's giving you a +1
Oh.
bonus, so it's kind of still good that it's not wasting an action to attack the Albatross. Probably
Okay.
should have used it for its map attack -3, but it didn't.
Would that
Alright.
persistent acid damage take out another stump?
No, it was only on one stump for the purposes of that particular blast of acid. It's still in that spot.
Alright, I'm gonna use my spell scroll of dizzying colors.
Okay,
It needs to make.
will save. What's your DC on your scroll spells?
It's equal to my thaumaturge DC, which that fails. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure it would. Your
what's
thaumaturge
my
DC is 20 at this moment. Not a critical fail, but
almost-
certainly a
Not
failure.
critical. So on a failure, it is stunned 1 and blinded for 1 round.
Bring up the
Dazzled for a
scroll,
minute.
and a rainbow of light shatters out across all of the heads,
Fuck it.
and
Taste the rainbow.
they are completely taken aback by it, sort of swerving this way and that, trying to get their bearings once more. However, it would have attacked you for using a spell,
Okay.
but it fails to do so. It fails to hit. There's 2 remaining reactions. That'll be not your turn. You have 1 more action, actually.
Yep, I do, and that's probably gonna be to attack it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for the head that's closest to falling off.
That head did get healing from the regeneration, so it's basically
I'm
back
s-
to full.
Okay,
But
I'm
either
still
way,
gonna attack it.
It's blinded, so it technically will be off guard to your attack. It also has the second and the +1 bonus. You have a +4 aggregate of all, but a 3 won't help.
I'm angry.
Fortunately, you are not
I
able to
saw
strike
it go
it.
over a high number.
It's just wildly swaying this way and that, defending itself desperately. Stormberg.
Don't hold back.
I won't. I will, however, need to patch myself up a little. I'm gonna take a step over here. I'm gonna battle medicine myself.
It attempts to strike at you for the manipulate action,
Yep.
but it needs to roll blinded. Was a natural 20 for that. It does hit you. Doesn't critically
We're
strike.
not ready for the Hecaton Kairos.
12 damage to you, Stornberg.
Blinded it with a rainbow. Of the power of autism, I smite thee.
Alright.
Take 12, maybe heal yourself over that. Let's see.
I'm gonna greed. Surely that will not bite me. It did bite me.
Get a little too hasty, dealing 2 damage to yourself.
Glad to be rolling as usual. I will take out my rage at my own hastiness on this Hydra.
Alright.
Do I get map for hurting myself?
I mean, a natural 20 will certainly do something.
Oh, there
here.
it is.
I assume you're hitting one of the heads while during this, right?
Correct.
Alright. So, it takes actually an extra 5 damage because it's weak to slashing when you're attacking one of the heads. And brings off another head. It's down to only 2 heads at this point. They're 2 uncauterized wounds.
That's all 3 of my actions.
Urask.
Cool. Not exactly in a position to fireball. I'm gonna do a little step.
Mm-hmm.
Surely there's a circle that doesn't hit all of us.
The Hydra is taller than us.
Oh yeah, you could detonate in the sky.
I freaking love dazzling colors.
Oh, it's still manipulate though.
You do take a step outside of its reach, though.
Hey, this is like the perfect time to fireball. The only person who can complain can't.
Okay. It'd still be 3 actions to fireball, so that's 1 action. I'm going to... I'm gonna try to do a strike, actually. No, no.
The action economy puzzle.
This is so, yeah, it's brutal.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I
I might
feel
be
you
better
there.
off trying to run across the west across the dock.
That is water right there, so... Don't think
True.
of doing any running across there.
Yeah, that's not good. Maybe this is my position. Maybe I just try for some good luck on throws.
Go on.
Okay. So nervous, so anxious. If we get the heads. Alright, I throw and disc. Water disc.
Slicing out towards it because of everything. It's blinded, it can't defend itself. It's a critical strike.
That one's down.
Yes.
That head certainly is
Just
down.
enough.
Actually, yes, this does have the 5 there. There's only 1 remaining head on the creature at this point. 3 stumps that could regenerate.
I'm gonna spend an action to draw my fireball.
Okay, last action, drawing that. It's 4s. Back all the way around to you. I need a recovery check. Did you go down to a crit?
Yes, actually, I'm at dying too.
Correct.
Alright.
Roll recovery.
It's been a while since I've had to roll one of these.
You still have a hero point?
He does not. He is at dying 3. He's on the
No.
brink of death.
I do have a hero point actually, but I can use it on dying 4 unless I get hit again.
Yeah.
Oh,
dying
yes, you
four
actually
sounds
do.
good.
Yeah, you're a caster. You usually use a hero point. So, with that, Cow, somehow you're still standing.
It's a miracle. Alright, Hell's gonna charge up another attack here.
Okay.
And he is going to do Amp Ignition.
They're gonna make it splashing.
Yep. Of cold damage.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm not gonna hit anyways, probably. Yep.
Well, you keep telling yourself that, and it won't happen. But yes, you do. You do not hit there.
I have an action left. You know what? That's an attack. Oh man. I'm just going to.
Has used all its reactions because the other heads that had theirs were destroyed.
Have we been adding Albatross to all of their strikes? I just realized.
It should be adding. I suppose it hasn't technically, but there haven't been any that have been on the brink of hitting or missing. No negative ones
Gotcha.
and +9s.
Yeah, let's get that all back away.
So it was supposed to
It's
auto.
on some of them and not on others, so it's just a little.
Yeah, I don't know why, but yes. Alright, back to its turn. Because there's only one head, it only heals for 3. It does attempt once again to regrow one of those 3 stumps that is not cauterized. This time, one of the heads, well, regrows here. Let me see specifically. I see it. That's the one. Oh. One of the stumps regrows into 2 heads. It's back to having 3. Sort of splits into 2.
That wasn't in the recall knowledge.
So now, back to 3 heads here. On the start of its turn, it is going to... It's going to, since Rask has been dangerous to it, rush down here. Or, actually, no, it's still blinded until Tressor's turn, so it's kind of in a bad spot still. Angry at Tressor. It's going to do a storm, or focused assault on them.
Good luck. Actually, no, bad luck, bad luck, bad luck, bad luck.
All 3
Yeah, good
heads
no.
snapping down at you,
Oh,
but failing
oh.
just barely to find you. They snap directly next to your head, all 3 of them at once, just barely avoiding it. By luck alone. Why is it stunned? 1.
Also from
Because
color spray.
dazzling colors. It
Oh, yes.
dazzles
That's the
and,
color same thing.
well, it blinds and stuns for 1 round
Yes.
and dazzles for a minute.
Alright, so that is all of its actions.
good.
Only used 2 to strike, and that's it. So its stun goes away, and on your turn, it's blinded, goes down to dazzled.
So that
If those
happens at the
heads,
start
I
of my
can
turn?
cauterize them on my turn.
Okay.
Persistent acid doesn't keep it cauterized.
It does not, because it was only on 1 stump. But that is
Gotcha.
sitting on.
Alrighty, I'm gonna
It's
go
specifically
for...
target.
Yeah, it does take 1 action to pull things out. I'm gonna go for 2 attacks, then I'm gonna pull out another spell.
You certainly swipe into one of those new heads.
Oh yeah, I am targeting a head.
7 plus the extra, it's 12 total. But the head hasn't been severed just yet.
That's what the second attack is for.
Hold on.
Yes?
That should have his. That should be 5 more damage, I think. Because his exploit vulnerability is adding more damage.
It already has. He's already hitting the weakness, though. Does he add twice as a thaumaturge?
Let's find out.
Are you doing mortal weakness?
Yeah, I'm doing mortal weakness.
But you already
This has
have a slashing weapon, and you cannot double up on it. You can do
Yeah.
personal antithesis, which would be 2 plus half your level, an extra 4 damage on top of the weakness. That's the way to do it when you already have something that's
Okay.
hitting the weakness.
I thought it was only weak to fire. I did not see the slashing.
Yeah, it's the head.
Dex.
It is not weak to fire at all. It is the stumps that get cauterized from fire damage.
Ah, okay.
So my stream sort
Okay.
of froze for a moment. All right. Yes. So for the purpose of it, you would be able to destroy that stump or destroy that head with an extra 4 damage there,
Alrighty.
doing personal antithesis.
Should I roll an exploit vulnerability to change it to personal to
No,
to
no.
the auto-
For the purposes of it, we'll just rewind, and because there was a mechanical misinterpretation.
Okay. Second attack missed. For my third action, I'm going to move a different spell scroll into my hand. I will figure that out.
As you do that, it will go for a strike against you with one of its 2 reactions at the moment. Exactly hits. Let's see if the dazzle. Oh, actually, rolls a natural 1 on the dazzle. It fails once again
It
because his
can't
eyes are
touch
still
me.
dazzled by that brilliant ray of rainbows. All right, so you get that back in your hand, and is that your turn?
Yes, that's my turn.
Well, no,
That's actually
you.
just a
Oh yeah,
pull out
you
a-
attacked twice. Okay.
I pulled out
Sunbrook.
a scroll of fear.
All right.
Alrighty. Seeing his favorite little hobo on the ground, Stormberg will set out into a sprint with sudden charge.
Okay. As you do, barreling through the fish sort of drying racks, not really getting very dry in this rain, it is going to use its last remaining reaction. The last remaining head to try to strike at you. 3 on the dice will make it a failure, though. It's in a bad spot right now.
Now to get another nat 1 on my treat wounds. Oh yeah, wait, first off, I get an attack in.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have an attack first.
Mhm.
Please get like a crit or something. I'd be so happy.
It's near death, apparently. You could, like, destroy the body.
That will be a miss.
I had Albatross Chris.
Or not.
Unfortunately. Anyway, now to your voice.
Mm-hmm.
I am impressed.
Unfortunately, just not able to muster the aid for your ally.
That's all 3 of my actions.
Okay, Rask.
It's fireball time.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you already have it in your hand, right?
I do.
You should try to cut off that other head before you fireball.
I'm gonna try to cut off the other head before I fireball.
Alright, 2 remaining heads. Go for one of them.
Wasn't?
Remember, it split into 2 new heads from
Yeah,
one.
I forgot that Chesser actually took one out.
E.
Crit.
Okay, slash is an effect. Okay, we're still doing the throwing discs of splashing icy water stuff.
Mhm. 2 on the dice.
It rolls over a 20 and into a 2.
Teague is getting to you at this point.
I'm just gonna take a risk and do the fireball. Kind of trying to aim it up a little higher to hopefully like get as much of them as possible. I'm assuming that there's gonna be like a stall that's just gonna get like
It'll get a little bit
That's,
charred,
but-
but it's literally subsumed with water, so it's not going to be destroyed or burned in any way. Alright, it'll roll its reflex against this eruption. It does succeed. Take half damage.
however.
19, half of that. It goes down to 0. As this explosion hits it, it rocks its body, and its body has taken a lot of damage too. It puts it down to 0, but it doesn't die until you get rid of those heads, as Tresser can shout out. So those 2 stumps are cauterized. There are only 2 heads remaining, and everything else is cauterized. All you need to do is
There's my
finish the
turn.
job. 4s. Unfortunately, I
I'm
need another
dying.
recovery check. You succeed. You go back to dying too.
Ooh. Just hang out in the balance. On limbo.
Cal.
Alright. Well, I'm back to fire at least.
Mm-hmm.
But the heads are immune to area damage.
If you do deal enough damage with fire directly to one head, it will cauterize it immediately.
I'm gonna come back in.
Mhm.
And I'm just gonna do a melee ignition
Alright.
on one of those.
Gather this sort of heat, this entropic heat in your hand. And slam it into one of the stalks of a head. It's very easy to hit it while it's unconscious and trying to just regenerate here. You deal 4 damage to that head.
Oof.
Not enough to take it off.
Well, that's my turn.
To come back around to it, it does regenerate, getting 6 health. It will come to a stand from prone. Come to a... I don't think any of
Is
you
there-
have a reaction, do you? I don't think so. So, it will snap violently out in a storm of jaws against 2 of you, Tresser and Cal.
Oh boy.
Going to Cal first. 13. That will hit. Dazzled? Just barely. Cal, you are down once more. Tresser, strikes at you. Oh, and it should have rolled to get another head regenerated on this. No, they're all cauterized, so it can't do that. It does miss you, Tresser.
Oh,
Tresser, 2 heads remaining. And in fact, actually, it goes back unconscious because of the persistent damage it's never gotten rid of. So it should be easy at this point. Slice those heads.
Continuously blacking out.
Sort of convulses, comes back up, slashes out once again, but it's only surviving because there are heads to regenerate. Plan, Treasure?
alrighty. So since there's only heads left, I'm gonna start. Are there any heads currently up?
Yes, there are 2 heads.
Okay, I'm gonna go for one of them.
Mm-hmm. Flashing for 1. Even with it being -4, or like -4 to its AC while down, you still do miss. You just don't align the slice hard enough against its scaly exterior.
I'm gonna try one more attack.
Mm-hmm. I will not cut it.
Ah! It rolled over 18 both times. For my third action, I guess I'll just go for another attack.
Okay. And the dice.
That would have been nice earlier.
Will not do it. Starnberg.
I think you turned the Hydra invisible.
Did I? That's right here.
Still visible for me.
Oh, okay. Not for me.
Weird. Yeah, it's right here.
That's strange.
Oh, I'll remove the
Starnberg
dead
is-
icon.
Still in the middle of picking up his healer's tools as someone else goes down, so he's stepping around again.
Okay. It is at 0, so it's unconscious. It can't do a reaction.
And I'm gonna take out the elixir of life I have on me and just shove it down Cal's throat.
Don't you have healer's gloves?
I do, but unfortunately I've already battle medicine you.
Healer's gloves have a different effect. Single action heal.
Oh,
Mhm.
right. Right, I even have a method. Convenient.
A lot more action economy free. Action
Yeah, thank you.
efficient.
Yes, I will in fact use the healer's glove.
Enough to get him up. And you have 1 action to strike.
Exactly, 1 action. Really little. Sure, I'll hope this time. Oh, I do.
Oh, yes, in fact. Go for a head.
Obviously going for a head.
And easily sever it. Leaving it with only 1 head.
You know, this is fun and all, but can we get this over with already?
Professor teleports into it.
What?
Ask. Only 1
Okay.
head, trying to get back up.
And it's considered unconscious, right?
It is unconscious, so it's pretty easy to hit.
And I don't need to worry about flank because of that?
Yeah, you don't, because it's also considered prone.
Okay, see if I can finish it off. Let's see. How much do I add? I add 4. So if I do a 2 action... If I do a 2 action on one of these, it's going to add 9 damage. So I could take it out if I do max. And if I hit it twice... Okay. But if I hit it twice with 1 actions, that'll do plus 10. So then, but I could roll terribly. Okay, I'm just going to play it safe and go for a 2 action and a 1 action, most likely.
Okay. This beast just
Okay.
yet is not slain.
Do I have my effect on? I do, okay.
Jet launched towards it.
I
18.
fling the disc, and oh my god!
Critical strike. Putting enough
Yeah.
power into it to sever that last head. However, with 0 heads, it still isn't technically dead until you cauterize.
I move 25 feet.
And that'll be your
Yep,
turn.
and that's the full turn.
Spores, recovery check.
My favorite roll.
You failed. You're at
Dying
dying
three.
3 once more. Cal, you always carry around a torch with you.
Do. I'll have to light it. Probably 1 action to do that.
Hmm.
I'll have to get closer and I'll try to swing at it with the torch.
Okay. You sort of crawl through the muck actually to get up to it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just swing with the torch. For the purpose of it, it's unconscious and you're just stuffing a torch towards one of them to cauterize it. You reach out and cauterize the last of the stumps. And finally, it just rests. It doesn't seem to move anymore. Well done. Give yourselves 60 experience or 80 experience points for that encounter.
Oh, it's the same as the last Hydra. So it tells me it was a little smoother last time.
Okay, that wasn't terrible. Rask, could I get some help? I'm just trying to like lift Silphers off out of the
Yep.
mud.
You would have seen that on Brask's last turn, he was moving directly toward him.
You know, gotta say, it takes some guts to crawl through the muck to wave a torch at this giant beast that could snap back at you at any moment.
Oh, I didn't see you doing it.
Mostly because I had no business being in the muck this time. I was busy chopping off heads. What were you doing?
Trying to do the same thing you were. Now, go take care of him.
Lay on hands on... not really lay on hands, but it's very... It's basically lay on hands.
Lay on bomb. Yeah. Man. That really stung.
I'm gonna go searching for this amulet of fire resistance we spotted earlier.
Alright, roll me a perception check. You sort of wade down into the muck of the shoreline here. You're able to easily find it after a minute or so. A little charm that you sort of wipe the dirt off of. It's on
Okay.
the Hydra if you loot it from them. Which I need to mark him as dead. There we go.
Oh, that's gonna come in handy. Oh, it's huge. I
Oh,
guess
it's
that's-
Hydra size.
Magic items, they change sizes for who uses them. It's like a standard enchantment.
Gosh, well. Sucks that we can't save everyone.
I
To
tried really hard.
Well,
It
like
wasn't enough.
Rask. Look, two people died. That sucks, right? Imagine if we weren't here. If we weren't here to stop this Hydra, it probably would have killed just about everyone.
We saved as many as we could. That ought to be a point of
We saved a
pride.
lot.
Yeah, it's not your fault.
Two dockworkers lie slain. The rest have run off, though you see bristle broom hair sort of rush out from cover. Well, I guess you did it then. I think I owe you a bit of an apology. Must have had a migraine the other day when I met you.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah, we figured out that's not your fault. That's okay. It's okay.
Yes, well, uh, since since you saved my life and the life of people I buy things from, need, uh, might I offer you a small discount in my shop the next time you come in?
I think I
No,
might.
I'll take you up
think-
on that offer.
I think I might need a little convincing to visit your shop again.
Well, I think the discount speaks for itself. I'm not going to beg you to return, but the offer stands. Now, I need to get out of this muck. Turn home to my, family. Brushes off.
I recall, is this a freshwater swamp?
Yes.
Okay, makes sense.
But, excuse me, for the purpose of it, we'll take our break here.
Okay.
We'll
Sounds
be
good.
back in about 5 minutes. Everyone take your hero point as well for the break, of course. But yes, 5 minutes. Be right back.
Alrighty.
Alrighty, we're back. And, should load in the XP bar and all that just in a second.
I'm back.
My stream setup is extremely finicky to get all this to work, but it's fancy enough, and I actually like that it's nice and fancy like this. But, yes. Everyone, Steinbrück, get your hero point for the, rake.
Yep.
So, as you're all standing in the aftermath of this attack, some dock workers come up and poke at the Hydra. You all, feel a little bit rough after that. Yeah, it's only the start of the day.
Yeah, that was. Ooh. Yeah, the adrenaline's wearing off now.
This
So,
was no random attack. This was not something that just happens. This was definitely caused, probably by the hags, I would guess.
Yeah. Oh,
probably.
yeah. Uh, it was wearing this amulet that, like, looking at it, I think it helped it resist fire. We cut off one of its heads, and that amulet fell into the muck.
Don't
Well,
worry,
Steinbrück got it now.
I've
Oh,
already collected it.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Is there anything special about it? Other than it's being so big?
That looks quite fancy on me, don't you think?
It looks all right on you.
Maybe it'll help you if my fireball gets too close to you.
Surely that wouldn't happen, though, right?
Oh,
So,
not intentionally, no.
so Cal, you got brainwave powers, right? Was there something controlling the Hydra, maybe? You think you can check for that?
I've never checked for that before, and it's dead. Doesn't that mean the brain usually stops working?
We also kind of
Well,
disconnected most of the brains from the rest of it.
Cal's
well,
gonna go.
Steinbrück is dead, and I think his brain is working fine.
That's debatable. I'm gonna go up to one of the severed heads and like pick it up and look at it.
It's about the size of you, like one of the heads themselves. So
So he'll maybe like turn it on the ground instead of picking it up.
it's like trying to pick up a big dog that's the size of a person. But you roll it over, you look at it, it's lifeless eyes, just sort of stare. You try to make any sort of connection. You've felt inklings here and there from different people at random times, but there is absolutely nothing you can get out of a dead mind.
Yeah, it's just it was a good thought, but look at these eyes. They're very lifeless.
Ah, poor thing. Can't believe the hags would do this.
I think we can assume that since this town probably hasn't been attacked by a Hydra before, he's gonna turn to look at one of the people who are nearby, like asking a question of this.
Yeah?
Yeah, as in never before?
Well, no, what's your question?
Has something like this ever came out of the water before here?
Well, I mean, we tell our kids stories of tentacled horrors in the water, but I didn't know that they had jaws on them. Oh, nothing like this ever happened.
See, so something must have drove it here.
This is an awful lot of meat.
Is this really the right time to be thinking about eating it, Rask?
Kind of.
It's still
admittedly-
fresh, yes.
I admittedly was thinking the same. It would be a good source of unlimited meat, even.
Well, not
Well,
anymore
it's
because
dead
it's
now.
decauterized.
Maybe if you like left it alive and just like occasionally cut off a head, I'm sure the neck meat is actually like pretty good.
Yeah,
Do-
that's
That's
sort of-
inhumane.
do you hear yourself right now?
I
feel like
mean,
there's some myth about someone getting repeatedly eaten by a creature.
oh great. Now I'm thinking about the bee troll from my own. There's a troll full of vulture bees. That's all I'll say.
Concern?
Okay, well, first things first, we're all really not doing very well. Rask,
Are we going to bed
I
again?
agree. We don't need to go to bed. We just might need to spend some time
I mean,
patching
I
up.
might.
I just need a little 10-minute intervals to keep swapping between people.
Thunder still rages in the sky. Lightning shatters down. Shatters the sort of din here and there. The storm continues to rage.
I could probably work on us on the move if we need to, but if we
Would
want to
be
do
a
it
bit-
faster, then we would want to have Starnberg help.
These buildings around us, so what are they, like dock houses, like
Yeah,
dock
just-
warehouses?
just
Can
little
we go
houses.
into one?
Well, do you randomly
Or
go
like
into
residential houses?
This one on the left here is like a storage house, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there.
Okay. You guys head inside. There's a few other dock workers that sort of got to cover. It's safe to go out, right?
Yeah, it's dead
Oh,
for
good.
sure.
That's something to tell my grandchildren.
Like,
Yeah.
why tell them if you can simply show them? I doubt
Sure,
it's gonna
kids,
be going
listen.
anywhere.
Hey kids, this is the feast that will pull you out if you don't eat your veggies.
You
Like
know
you.
what? That's a good idea. I'll get one of these heads and sell it to the tavern keep. They'll put it up on the wall above the fireplace, I bet.
Oh, this should actually look pretty neat. Might add a little more flair to this sad little tavern.
I guess so.
Sad?
This is much bigger than our town that we came from, so it's not sad, I would say.
Well, Blytech doesn't have a tavern, does it?
Yeah,
Thunder does have food.
yeah, we do.
I believe someone is a little cold.
Just because the tavern in my town is smaller than the one in this town, that doesn't mean we don't have one.
It's a tavern, but not an inn, is it?
No, it's not
It's
an
a
inn.
fusion.
Well, ours isn't.
What?
Ours isn't.
One of those hip new fusion restaurants.
Fusion tavern inns. What's the inn in Lysak for? People from Derzak? I don't think there's many visitors from elsewhere that come down.
No, it's just a tavern. It's where people go to eat and drink and socialize. You don't sleep there.
Well, while they have this conversation, I'm refocusing.
Yeah, you guys are healing, refocusing in the comfort of this storage place.
Yeah.
So, after the course of an hour, you guys can heal to full. And refocus, of course.
Putting a lot of faith in my healing abilities.
Oh no, you're not the one healing. It's mostly Rask. Cal saw what you did to yourself.
No, you didn't. You were
Oh, I was
unconscious.
unconscious. Yeah, never mind. I felt it.
Have you ever considered assurance?
I have. Unfortunately, I'm very much lacking the feet space for it.
Yeah.
Beat tax or stitch flesh. Gotta love it.
No,
there's-
not Stitch Flash, just Battle Medicine, Godless Healing, Continue Recovery. That works.
So there's a feat that would allow me to do acid damage with my attacks, and I didn't take it because I thought, this doesn't sound all that useful. It doesn't sound all that useful.
You never
Well,
know.
now that the one use case for it has passed, you
crying.
don't need to take it anymore.
I am really also thinking of picking up an Avid cantrip, but I decided against it.
I need to get used to the idea that like damage types are far more interesting than they were in D&D.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
I've also got to used to how well all these mechanics work, unlike in D&D.
Mm-hmm. That's rewarding. Ooh. But
We're gonna come across something weak to electric soon enough. I can feel it.
weaknesses are hard to find in a lot of creatures.
I bet when we start going up against the high-tech machine robot hordes, then electrical will come in handy.
Yeah, we'll do a 180 on the.
Oh wait, is this not a JRPG?
It's ancient technology. That makes it so. That makes it okay. You know,
Are any of us Japanese? Would that make
Uh,
it a JRPG?
I mean, funnily enough, the snakes technically come from like Fantasy Asia and Galarian.
Ah,
Leon
20% JRPG.
Beautiful.
But yes, you guys are healed to full, and the leaving of town ends up being uneventful.
Am
After,
I
of
allowed
In
course.
comparison.
Yeah.
On my way out of town, am I allowed to buy back the spell scroll I
Yeah.
spent? Okay.
Mhm.
I'll do the bookkeeping on that myself.
Yeah, give yourself the gold you spend in silver because it's 10% off. So if you spend 4 gold, give yourself 4 silver back.
Oh, that's our discount, 10%.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you.
Every little bit counts.
Just bought back the Zane colors.
So, oh, I need to change the ambiance on the map. It's raining on your map as you're walking. And let me change the audio as well. No town streets. More echo before the sound.
So we can either explore new ground as we travel, or we could retread old ground for a bit more speed.
Yeah, dry ground sounds nice if we can.
I just did a secret roll for my Eternal Eruption to determine how many hours, again, it'll become available.
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. I see it. But, yes. What is your route, guys? And who is doing the surveying? You don't really need a tracker because you're not following a track anymore.
Well, I assume Cal will do the mapping like he has been.
Okay.
Unless Spores wants to do that now that he's feeling better.
Yeah, he can do that. Well, forgot what role mapping was.
Survival. Or surveying.
Gotcha.
Easy enough. DC is basically 15 for the purpose of this. You're going top right?
Yeah, whereabout is the lighthouse from what we've been told?
Northish.
North.
just
North coast of the swamp.
Alright, then. That makes sense to go that way.
Alright. You guys head this way, and as you pass through some of the denser sort of woods here and past another one of those lakes, certainly not as tranquil as the lake you were at, especially with the storm and all that, you notice that you're sort of getting to a more clear and open area on the coastline here. This is as if all of a sudden the low swamplands give rise to a bit of a cliff that rises up. And you hear not just the storm, not just the rain, but also this sort of low swooshing sound over the top of the cliff. On the other side of it. Can't really tell what it is from where you are.
It's not just a wind, is it?
Sort of ebbs and flows. There's like a whoosh at some points, and then it quiets down. Another whoosh.
Should we check it out? Nothing else. We might get a better view from there.
Yeah, I guess so.
Possibly.
You climb the slope here. You crest atop the cliff face, and out before you, for what seems like miles, is water. Water and water and water.
Ask, look.
Cal
Rask
gets up
is
there first.
When Resk joins Cal and sees this, he just stops and is practically catatonic as he stares out at the expanse.
See massive waves brought up by the wind and rain sort of lope along slowly, but like massive giants, that then crash right below you at the bottom of the cliff, spraying water, shooting along it. It is as if the land is holding back this ever encroaching, ever pounding force. It is here that you feel incredible power, and as you feel that amulet, that attenuator on your chest, seems to grow colder for a moment, icing over even.
I touch it curiously, wondering what's going on.
It seems as though encountering this massive body of water, this massive amount of water, and then maybe testing for a moment, because it wasn't this cold when you got up here. You step back, step forward from the cliff. It seems to get colder in the presence of massive bodies of water, massive, well, elemental power, elemental watery power directly before you in the, well, bay that you are seeing here. For some reason, when it encounters a lot of water, it gets colder.
I'm going to draw out my aura. And I'm going to try gathering nearby sky water into a ball. See if this is having any effect on my ability to manipulate amounts of water.
Your ability to manipulate water, as you're swirling it around you, it doesn't seem to increase your power, but it does increase your connection to water itself. For the purposes of it, you have now unlocked water sense out to 60 feet. Basically like a tuning fork, or one of those, I forget the specifics of it, a dowsing rod. In any direction,
Yeah, those are cool.
covered by any amount of rock or anything like that, unless it was lead, as usual, you can sense water, the presence of it.
That is amazing.
So add that
Does
to
that
your
mean-
senses. Water sense 60 feet. Should be able to do that.
Can you sense any water right now?
And it's a precise
It says
sense,
the water
so
inside me.
yeah, well, doesn't count for people because their water is blood. It's not water. It only senses water,
Ah.
pure water, we'll say.
Can't wait till they introduce the blood kineticist. That's actually
That is
that's
a
actually a cool
yeah.
idea.
No, that
Does
is
it
a
work?
that is a first edition class, blood kineticist. So they might
Oh,
do
of
it.
course. I mean,
Yo,
it's
that's real?
Yes, it is real.
basically the last Airbender, so
You can play a blood kineticist in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous video game.
Oh, I have
does it work on salt water?
It seems to work on all classical examples of water. Salt water, fresh water. Just doesn't work on blood or butter or melted magma. It just works on water.
Gotcha.
Is there a section on the sheet that talks about your senses?
There should be. I thought there was. Let's
I think
see.
it's on the main
There
file.
is. It's under perception.
Yes, though, there should be. Why is there no button to allow to, well, we'll figure it out after session, I guess. I thought there was going to be
Okay.
an easy button to change senses. I thought there was. But yes. So, you feel a little bit more attuned to the water around you. And as I was trying to say, it's a precise sense as well. So, imprecise just means you know that there's water around you. Of course, you know there's water around you. Precise sense means you know where the water is. and you can sense the rain separately from the sea, etc., etc.
That is so
And you
cool to me.
And you can strike water while blinded without needing to roll.
True.
Oh my gosh. No, this tickles me. This is that is such a cool concept to me.
Mm.
Wow, I didn't know we were so close to the ocean.
Well, Spores, roll me a survival check for surveying. Now that you're at the top of this cliff, you have a better view of what is beyond this water. In fact, because you rolled so well there, 27 total, you're able to discover the hexes across the bay here, just about. And see that there is a bit of an inlet bay here. Though it may see... Oops, I didn't really want to reveal this, but... You realize that this is just an inlet of the ocean, in fact. It's a few miles across, of course, it is massive, but beyond it you see hills and pine trees, just barely at the horizon.
This must be the biggest expanse of water in the world right in front of our eyes.
Oh, you've seen nothing yet.
Wow.
Well, I guess in a way it is the biggest.
You stand there, awestruck still by the pounding waves of water, feeling in your bones and in your sort of sensory perception, the ebb and flow of it, how it moves. Certainly gives you a new perspective on the powers that you've been granted, far greater than anything you could have imagined, back home at least.
I knew coming up here would be the right thing for me to do.
Up
And
this
now that I'm
cliff?
here, all I can think of is going in there.
Well, what's stopping you?
That's what-
Responsibility?
Oh yeah, the hags. Huh. Well, hey, we could follow the inlet northward so you can take a nice swim whilst we're on our way. Nothing wrong with that.
Once these hags are dealt with, we can take some time for ourselves with the water, I think.
Oh, that's a good idea. We could, like, go on vacation.
Yes. It's so stormy, but do we see the lighthouse yet?
You do not,
Yes.
not from this perspective.
Nope. Nowhere close.
But if we pay attention to the weather, does it look like the storm might be originating at a certain direction?
Someone can roll a nature check for that.
I look at Spores.
I'll aid with my
Nature
own
man
nature
here.
check.
I'll reroll that.
Okay.
And then I'll aid him.
Also, I think everyone's been very good with their role-playing, so everyone get a hero
Oh.
point.
Oh, yay!
I know nothing about rain, which is in character.
It's not surprising, being from the Underdark. It's Force. You're able to pinpoint that the center of this storm, as it swirls above your head, it seems to be rotating in a way, actually. And, of course, you being a storm druid, you are very in tune with this. Due west, and maybe a tiny bit north. You would find it along the coast here. The center of
Spores
the storm.
closes his eyes, bends around, and then stops in his tracks to point at exactly that direction. That way.
Then let's go that way.
Alright. Along the coast.
Since the weather is spinning, we might get a chance to see a tornado.
Oh, okay. I hope we see one then.
Yeah,
What's a
maybe even up
tornado?
close.
I'm not sure, but Swords is excited about it, so
Uh, is that some? What is it? Oh,
Oh, it's big and loud. It's like lightning.
oh, it's loud.
okay,
And
I don't know if we should hope for that.
I'm having a hard enough time dealing with the lightning as it is.
I can
Follow.
keep a steady track of electric arcs to get you acclimated to it.
No, thank you.
Continuing along the coastal cliff here. I need another survival check from your tracker, or your surveyor. Alright, once again, very good rolls. As you get here, Mask, you notice that your eyes have been following that land on the other end of the water. Following and following and following it to see where it goes. At one point, it curves away from your eyesight and continues far into the distance where you can no longer see it.
Oh,
And the ocean opens up before you.
Whoa.
And of course, you also notice a rocky outcropping with a peculiarly straight and tall object at its peak.
that's it.
I'm surprised you recognize it as lighthouse. As a lighthouse, it looks nothing like the one down in Plazak and Durzak.
I recognize it as the highest point. That's what matters.
As you guys are following along here, would anybody be on lookout, perception, checking?
Yeah, Tresser probably would.
Excuse me.
Stomach
Bless
would probably
you.
also keep an eye out where I knows.
Yeah, you two roll perception for us.
I feel like the thing I'd be most likely to be doing right now is like keeping track of direction and stuff. But
Squinting your eyes through the storm and the rain battering against you. Really should have invested in a hat or something like that.
either that or foraging.
Can't really see anything, Sternberg. However, Tresser, you notice a little blip, a little object flying out across the sea. You see wings flapping along its body. And you think it's getting a bit larger as you wait there.
Bird?
Bigger and bigger. In your field of view here.
Guys? What's that?
Dresser, what do you what?
I'm pointing towards it.
Rest of you really only see like this object getting closer. Maybe it's wings. Tresser notices it's getting larger as it gets closer.
Some kind of flying object that can't identify it.
Oh, maybe it's a seagull.
A what?
It looks a little big for a seagull. I don't think that's... Wait, what is a seagull? Is that like a...
Oh,
Bird?
it's like Rask, but it's a bird.
What?
Is it an albatross like that
The
albatross
image in my
curse
mind
you
is
used?
stunning.
Yeah, it's like an albatross, but smaller.
You hear this screeching, this call that resounds through the thunderstorm. It's getting closer and closer. It seems like it's coming towards you, specifically.
I would
Yeah, it is a
definitely
little deep.
Yeah, guys, I think it's coming towards us.
You should probably take cover and like hide or something.
I'm definitely
That's a
preemptively
fantastic
channeling
idea.
elements.
Okay. As you guys
I'm
dive for
forcing.
cover,
I'm taking cover with Cal.
does anybody have expert stealth?
Me.
You do.
Actually, let me double check. I thought I did.
Are we experts?
I
Oh
am
yeah,
not.
we are.
I am
Yeah.
not an expert in stealth. Never mind.
1 expert skill at this point, or 2 if you have a specific thing. Oops. One.
If the goal right now is to stealth, I'm not channeling my element. Because that kinda doesn't.
Yeah. You have no experts in stealth. You have 3 people that are trained though.
Well, let's hope that's enough. As you guys all dive for cover, looking around yourselves, maybe someone who can use their natural knowledge to find a good spot to hide, or their survival skills to cover themselves. Creativity matters as well, not just pure stealth skill. So use skills, whatever you think would be appropriate to maybe help. What do you guys do? Quickly.
I hide behind
Force
the
figures
largest.
out a camouflage using his natural expertise or survival expertise.
Sure, go ahead with that. Tresor, what were you saying?
I'm gonna hide behind the largest rock I can find.
Okay.
With stealth.
He's not doing that.
Would disguising
well, at
as a
least.
bush allow me to use deception?
Deception.
I am the bush.
No, that would be a survival check.
Dang it.
Is
Camouflage.
there any water up here?
There is rain, lots of it, but not a pool of water. No, sort of on a cliff.
Ras, can't you like move the water in such a way that it hides us? Anyways, I'm looking for like a big patch of like underbrush or something, and I'm gonna dive in there.
Sure.
Same.
Ras, as you panic, you let go of the oar and just dive in with everybody else.
I'm gonna use a hero point on mine.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
now we're getting natural 20s.
Is this like a group check basically at this point?
Sort of, yes. But still, I want everyone to roll individually. We'll just see what happens.
I'm gonna
Much better. So, as you all dive for cover, rocks, brush, just behind a tree or two, you all hunker down for a moment and you start to hear the wings of this creature sort of buffeting at the air between strikes of lightning and thunder. And as it sort of swoops overhead, I think it passes for a moment, but then there's another swoop shooting past you all. And then there's a pounding thud as it seems to land close by. Hearing a growl from it, this creature, you get a better look at it from your hiding spots. It seems a wickedly, well, cat-like creature. You've seen cats back in town, but it also has these leathery wings along with it, and a spiny tail, wicked claws, and jaws that could rip one of you in two.
If I can see it right now, can I roll esoteric lore to see what I know about it?
Sure.
So that's a bird.
Almost a 20.
does it have an amulet on?
It doesn't have an amulet, but since you're asking and since you're peering for its, like under its mane, you realize it is wearing a collar of some sort. Sniffs the air for a moment. But it can't find anything. It jumps into the air and shoots off towards the lighthouse.
Oh, it flew away.
That might have been a bad thing that it flew away.
It may have also been a good thing.
Yeah, but
Do you want to catch it?
look where it's going.
Well, yeah, but
Now if
Where's it going?
if the hag is there, now there's gonna be a hag and a bird there.
I don't think that was a bird.
I mean, is that a bird? I don't know. I don't.
Well, it's not a
Well, what?
dragon.
Yep, it's a bird.
So, as it flies off back into the storm, you certainly notice that the epicenter, where everything is swirling around, is above that lighthouse. As far as you know, that storms do not generally just stay in one spot. Something must be anchoring it there.
Like hag. Well, I think this is about as much confirmation as we're gonna get. Whatever we're looking for is at the lighthouse.
If it flew into the storm, then maybe we have time to take the hag out before the creature appears.
I don't. With that collar, it's like. I think we can safely assume that this beast is allied with the hag in one way or another.
Professor, get anything from his esoteric lore?
Yeah, did I?
So, with that, let me look real quick. Yes. That creature is called a manticore. They are sort of monstrous amalgamations of lions, dragons, and humanoid qualities, even. With a penchant for feasting on human flesh.
It's only like 20% cannibalism.
You know, I wonder where you of all people heard of these things. I thought you were living underground for most of your life.
I do a lot of reading when you're not looking. And I'm really good with hunches.
Good enough that you can just guess its name.
Sometimes I make up names.
That's makes more sense than I'd like to admit.
Yeah, maybe this is the first time the word manticore has ever been spoken
The
in all of
world is
history.
young. I'm freaking naming these new monsters.
So do you guys approach the lighthouse?
I say we do it.
I see nothing better to do.
Alright.
You know what to expect now, at least.
Giant angry bird.
Following along the coastline, you take care to go inland just a bit for the cover of the trees. It's not long before you finally arrive at this massive structure, many stories high. Its light, well, isn't on. It doesn't seem to be on. There's not been any light coming from it since you've seen it. So it's really just a big house. And as you stand before it, it sort of stands on a little bit of a spit of land that goes out into the water and rises above it quite a bit, about maybe as high as the lighthouse itself is from the water. Double that, yeah. Lighthouse and then lighthouse on top, size of it. Anyway, as you arrive, though, the storm is not suddenly, but seems to abate just a bit. As you get to the center of it, it's more of a lighter rain than the downpour that's been coming down. There's still thunder, there's still lightning all around, but here it's a little bit of the center of the storm, where it's seemingly the calmest. I'm gonna move you guys over to a new scene.
Swartz looks back in the direction of Crudark and the river that apparently flows from there. Is it like kind of level or sloping down or what?
It's hard to tell that, just looking at it.
Huh.
But it seems to flow into the ocean. Look out and see the tower sort of, towering above you, rising there.
Should we sneak up along the cliff? Oh wait, no. No, that goes down, not up.
Yes, that is down into the water. The raging sort of tides are smashing stones and such against the cliff face.
I don't think sneaking in is going to be a valid option.
Yeah, no.
What even is our plan here? It seems to only have one door, and climbing up from outside doesn't really seem to be in the cards either.
Well, it looks like you can walk around it over there.
I begin channeling water.
Walk around, and what are you trying to find there? A window 7 stories up.
We don't know if there's a window or something else on the back of this place. Maybe there's a secret door or something.
Maybe there's a button that kills old hags inside.
Or that.
Incriminate hag.
I'll approach. Recover of rain, storm.
Let's just, it doesn't hurt to look.
I really want to turn it on. Lighthouses shouldn't be off like that.
Just be really careful.
If you are trying to be stealthy here, do roll your stealth checks.
I'm certainly trying to be
We
stealthy.
can't. We can't follow the expert yet, can we?
I'm giving up on
You
stuff.
cannot.
I'll
But
get
still
expert
might
when I
help.
can.
But I guess I'm trying to be as stealthy as I can.
Oh, I might as well.
We're pros.
Mm-hmm.
We step on a rake.
Well, it's not the most stealthy approach out in the open here. The rain at least covers your sounds.
Probably not even whispering, just like talking at room volume.
Room temperature.
Does it seem safe to go around the edge here?
It's a little bit treacherous, but you can sort of push your way over the rocks and difficult terrain here.
Sure, I'm just curious. I'm gonna peek, so I'm still stealthing.
Okay.
You guys just wait here for a second, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Hope to find the manticore.
No, I don't. Just gonna keep going. Keep going.
You round the back of it, but it gets more narrow and narrow until basically you couldn't really go any further. You don't really see much of an entry point or anything like that.
I'll make my way back then. Hal just shakes his head. Unless there's
Oh, well.
something, unless there's some way down in the water or something. This is the only way in.
Now we're
Stan,
going
you
in.
want to see if the door is locked?
Go ahead and try to open it, Chester.
Double door creaks
Oh, okay.
open, allows you to push into the seemingly gutted interior of this lighthouse. There are many points in which stone has fallen even from above, leaving holes in the ceiling, looking out into the rainy exterior above. The rain is a little bit muffled as you get in here and sort of echoing around in this centralized chamber here. What are your exploration activities as you enter this place?
Continuing to search.
If you are searching, roll your perceptions.
Searching indeed. I love searching.
Woohoo,
Just-
searching.
I'll just scout.
Not really a whole lot for me to do with my skills. So search it is.
Okay.
I need to review the out of combat activities. Either way.
As you guys enter this place, have a look around.
Bit of a mess in here. Boris tries to peel off the top of this crate here. He can.
You reach for it. But as you do,
Oh no.
as far as
Oh,
Starnberg,
no.
Professor, actually I will say everybody, the floor below your feet rumbles a moment. It's extremely dusty, something you didn't notice before. Like nobody dares to tread across any of this. The stones linked together by some ancient mortar, begin to collapse under your feet, and down below you start to hear the crash of water into some sort of cove below you as the floor is collapsing under you. I need a reflex save from everybody.
Yeah, this seems like our kind of luck. Yeah, this is normal.
Not the best of perception checks there. Nobody really cited this before it happened.
Yeah, I will hero point that.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, I got a 20.
Everyone, all the kobolds, jump away and sort of skitter along some of the falling rocks before you get to sort of rounded points around the river. Basically, where the rubble piles are pretty safe, but the rest of it is falling away. And then it's like safe at the north and south, just this center area where you're all at. However, Starnberg, reflex save was for avoiding it, but as you begin to fall, you have another reflex save to grab an edge. Or you're truly doomed.
All right.
How about that?
The DC was 15 to grab this ledge. It's slick with water already from the dripping of above, and you begin to tumble down into the cove of slamming water below. You do take from the fall itself 20 points of damage. Actually, no, 30, because this, no, actually 40. It would be 40 because that is the distance that is going, and you're sort of slamming off of stuff on the sides.
Please stop reconsidering.
As you fall into the water there, I need an athletics check to get your bearings in that water, unless you want to be slammed against the rocks once more.
No.
I'd like to use my reaction to cast air bubble on him.
Okay, you do that. That will prevent him from drowning, but it won't prevent him from being dashed against the rocks. $18 is exactly the DC I set for that, actually. So you're barely holding your bearings in this tumultuous water here. You grab onto some of the rock, still being sort of dashed against some of the stone here. You're not going to need to find a way out. Your allies see that you've fallen in. They can do something as well.
I'm gonna jump in after him.
That's
How
not
far
the way.
down is it?
That doesn't sound
It's
healthy.
40 feet down.
Maybe.
20
Well,
feet down.
is there a place I can jump that looks free of rocks?
You can dive into it, and judging by where he fell and how tall he is, you could easily dive in and be sure that you're not going to hit any rocks.
I'm
gonna
get
do
ready
that.
a rope and a python.
All right,
See
get
if
to
I
work.
can. Yeah, get to work on giving them a way back up.
No skill check for that. There's plenty of like loose stone around that you can shove it into between the rubble and stuff like that. But it
Yeah.
will take some
These
time.
items are great.
Mm-hmm. Rask, you dive down into the water. You have a swim speed, so you're fine in this water. It's not tumultuous enough that even you would be struggling. As you're even using some of your power to control the ebb and flow of the water, maybe slowing it down a little bit. Roll me a kinesis check.
Okay.
Just your elemental blast, basically. Plus 11.
How?
You work with some of the water. You get in an agreement with it. Slow down. It will stop violently bashing itself against the rocks. It will calm itself, at least for a moment. You're holding back the tide itself, giving Starnberg a chance to get his bearings as the rope sort of is thrown down from Tresser.
You guys see the rope?
We do. At least I do.
And I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that he stays at the surface.
You are doing everything you can, controlling the waves, controlling the tide. It is here that you do discover the full force, the full power of the ocean's tides, the ocean's waves. It batters against your ability to control it much more than any other water ever has. But you struggle to hold it back. But at this point, Starnberg, you can grab onto the rope and hoist yourself up.
You'll do exactly that. Getting it out of there as quick as possible.
Right. Pull your way back up. Ask. You can do so as well.
Yeah, I'll follow him up once it's safe.
You're too good.
Well, I think I may have broken a bone or two, but good enough.
It's okay.
Gotta say, I'm very thankful for your help, Rask.
Oh, well, it's nothing.
No, I think it was a bit more than nothing. You saved me from getting dashed against these rocks in probably the worst little bath that I had.
Well, it's anyone would have done the same.
Perhaps, but not anyone would have had the powers that you have.
Well, we're all friends here, right?
Uh, uh, well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I suppose so.
Let's be friends.
Anyways, that was horrid. I really, really am tired of the ocean.
We're gonna go swimming in it later.
We just
You
got to
have
the
fun with
ocean.
that.
Once it's calm.
Now, come over here and stick to the edges where it's probably safer.
Starbrick, you've taken quite a beating, you realize.
I may need to bandage myself a little after that tumble, by the way.
Makes sense.
How loud was the floor collapsing?
It was decently loud, but it rumbled just like the thunder outside as well, so
Maybe we're good.
also approached in the open.
How many minutes are we giving me to heal myself, by the way?
How long do you think you
we're
have?
on a timer. I can quickly.
How long do you feel comfortable?
I was personally going for just like 20 minutes, which would probably allow me to heal twice.
I don't think we have that time.
Yeah, okay, then I'll only get one heal in.
You hear, as you're sitting there, over the course of that 10 minutes, the wind whipping around the outside, howling, whistling through some of the cracks that are open in this crumbling lighthouse. The winds are getting stronger.
We should probably go take care of this before we're all blown away. Or the lighthouse is blown away.
But let's
Yeah.
take care of the hag if the lighthouse were to topple over.
Yeah, I can blow better than any hag.
Please rephrase that.
Don't actually, just say it again.
Well, let's do this, everyone. I start going up the stairs.
Are the stairs, like, structurally sound?
They seem like an elevator shaft in a building, one of the more sound places here because it's small and compact. You walk up it just fine.
That means we're more sound than Starnberg.
Find a different wind sound. There we go, we'll build this one. This one's good. Yeah, that's good. As you make it to the top, you throw open a trapdoor, a hatch, and it's a little bit difficult to throw it open as the wind is whistling and buffeting against you at the top here. Let me change the music one more time. Yes. Do this, maybe? Yes. Make it to the top. Perhaps the torch. The torch immediately gets thrown off by the wind, like buffeted
Oh.
by it. So that is gone. If you can unequip it there.
If you're good with that, it was more for so the viewers could see things.
Yeah, it's daytime technically, so yeah, they'll see it here. It's more because for some reason, when there's like fog effects or anything, it like really makes the fog effects glow, which I guess is cool. But either way, as you make it to the top here, the rain pattering down, sort of wind buffeting by, clouds sort of really low above your heads. You see a massive brazier filled with wet logs and wood, and then torches at its side, as if prepared to finally be alight again, but it's not going to be today, at least not in this weather. There are holes in the space here where, well, it seems like if one were to step unlightly, they could fall through down the 40 feet of the lighthouse to the bottom. But most notably, as you look past the brazier, there is a ritual circle, aglow, and a woman standing in its center. Small, perhaps not too much larger than any of you. Starnberg a foot lower than you. She's only really 4'5" maybe, in her hunched form, but her hair stands on her head as if pulled up by the magnetism or the electromagnetism of the air, of the lightning potential of it. But she seems to have known that you would be coming as she turns around, the wind swirling around her and enhancing her voice as she speaks. Well, you're quite tenacious. I'll give you that. But after all is done, I wanted you to come here. To see what I can do. See the sheer destructive power of a storm's rage.
And this benefits you how?
Benefit, my dear. There is no benefit to any of this destruction. And that's the point. All those people huddling in their huts, safe from the storm outside, the weather, all of it. They have something we do not. Warmth, protection, family, those to care for them. Our kind, though. In a place like this, we know all too well we are not welcome. So we take joy, great joy, in shattering that seeming safety, that refuge that those in Krudak so hold dear about their home. Neither is it a refuge for refugees, as my sister taught you. Neither will it be a refuge from the elements of the swampland, of the water, of the storm, of the sky, all of it, in these wild lands. It has been far too long since those people have truly learned their place in the world. They don't deserve their safety.
This has got to be one of the dumbest explanations I have ever heard.
Oh, refuge. Are your sisters not enough for you?
My sisters are fools. One has already died to your hand, and the third, well, she sees our activities as short-sighted. Her games are longer than ours, I admit. But I don't have the patience, and neither does the weather, neither does the storm. It does not wait to wreak its havoc. So neither will I. And you, upstarts, think you can control the waters, think you can control the sky. I am the only one here who can control the storm. Truly.
There's no controlling anything here. You can only ask for what it gives you. You're gonna have to stop.
Is that what the storm gave you, dear? You played with something you could not control, isn't that right?
Yeah, the storm gave it to me. It's not my fault. These things happen.
These things happen. Well, look above you. Isn't this just another occurrence? I don't exactly control it myself. Why do you care? You never did care what's happened because of the storm you willed. Why should I?
Horace cares?
Does he? I sense the volatility in him. The evil, the rage of the storm. Or rather, no, not evil. A force of nature cannot be evil, can it? No matter what it does, it's just nature. That applies to you, I suppose, right? You can just say it was nature's doing. Anything you do wrong.
I don't think it applies to you, though. This you are doing with purpose. This you are doing with malice, for your own joy.
Perhaps. Perhaps I am. I don't make any attempts to say I'm not. I want death and destruction. And I will use a force of nature for it. At least I don't kid myself. At least I'm truthful.
Well, I'll be perfectly happy to draw blood today. Yours.
As you mention that, the howling winds give way to a flap of wings already familiar. What the fuck was that sound? Jesus Christ. It did that again.
What was that?
What was that? Is that something on Twitch? Because is that on my VTubing program? It just did like a really loud snap and did some like party hat stuff on my avatar. I gotta fucking find that. That is annoying as shit.
Could be Twitch reacts.
Somebody is rating you. That's probably what's causing that.
Well, yeah, but that happened like 5 minutes ago.
Or did it?
But I just don't
Maybe
know
they
what
just-
the hell that sound is. I'm fucking autistic, so I hate like random loud ass sounds. So I apologize about that. I have to
Relatable.
figure that out.
Me too, man. Me too.
Scared the shit out of me too. Fuck. All right. Yeah. Next time I'll figure that out. I think I might know what it's doing. It might be the VTubing program because VNN has some like built-in stuff if you connect it to Twitch, and I think I did that recently. Just has a really fucking loud noise. Anyway, a crack of lightning occurs and startles you guys for a moment, and through the lightning flies in the great beast that was harrowing you before. Well, let's see if the storm can be controlled. Let's see if nature favors you or I. Next time. Because this is a big fight and we are 10 minutes before we usually end, and some of you wake up very, very early or are very, very late in Germany or something like that, so we can't really go over time.
Yeah.
I can't believe you doxed him.
I do have one question before we end it.
Yes, Cal.
On the manticore, you said it had a collar.
Yes.
Is that collar metal?
It is, yes, metal.
Thank you.
Oh
Sort of one of
ho!
those thick, metallic, mean collars.
It's a shock collar.
That's not the one.
But yes, I do hope. Oh, why did the screen pause? There we go. I do hope you guys have enjoyed this session. Thank you, VGVeris, for
As
raiding on
always.
in. You always have a way of raiding in at the end because, well, you probably end pretty close to when I end, but I always appreciate it. And I've checked out your stream as well sometimes. But again, you run at the same time as I do, so it's kind of hard to do that. But yes, I do appreciate it. And if you guys
Thanks,
enjoy,
High Five.
no, if you guys did enjoy the session, this map, this nice map, if I do say so myself, and the other one, the let's see, where did I actually put it? The town map, the Hydra map. I don't need to move over to it. Both of them are my own creations. They're part of my homebrew module that you can find on my Patreon for the Shaman tier of patrons. Sort of little bonus extra maps that are basically all the maps that I use for my stream games. Because I don't use a single map that is not my own, mostly because I like showing them off. But yes, thank you guys for watching, and Chris, you also stream.
Yeah, hi there. I am Chris, the player of Rask, and I stream on Twitch as well at Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern at Captain Kobold. So, feel free to drop by sometime. It'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And with that, unless anybody else has anything else to say, anybody started streaming or something like that, I don't think anybody did. I do.
Fortunately not.
Yeah. I do hope you guys enjoyed, and we will be on next time. And if you joined late, I always put these up on YouTube, Kobold DM on YouTube. You can find the VODs of it there as well. So, I will see you guys next time. See y'all.
Have a good one.
Bye bye.